everybody, it's Miss Lahosky back again, and today we are going to be talking about mean absolute deviation. And from previous classes we learned that mean absolute deviation, also known as MAD, is the average number that each value is from the mean in a data set. What you'll need is a handy dandy calculator, something to write with, and your brains. So, when we talk about mean absolute deviation, let's break down the language so it's a bit easier to understand. When we're talking about the word mean, as mathematicians, we talk about the word average. This is the average number that's compiled when each value is added together and then divided by the amount of numerals there were in the given set. The absolute, in terms of mathematics, is we talk about the number from 0 on a number line. Now, it's really important to recognize that when we talk about absolute values, that we look at them in positive values. We don't look at absolute values and they never have negative signs in front of them. So when we're talking about absolute, we're remembering that we're dealing with positive values. And deviation, when I think about the word deviation, I think of an image that looks like this. This tells me how far or how close something is. When you work with the mean absolute deviation, you're basically asking yourself, what is the average number from 0 on a number line that's given in a specific set? So this is a lot of stuff. So to break it down, I would like you to create a MAD sandwich. MAD sandwiches look like this. Every sandwich has a bun. You have something tasty in the center, and then you have a nice bun at the bottom to complete your MAD sandwich. This stands for mean absolute deviation. Knowing that these signs this bun is put together to create our MAD sandwich is going to be our visual cue that helps us remember the steps to completing a MAD problem. For the first step of MAD, you're going to look at the mean or the average of the given set of numbers. So in the bun, I'm just going to write average. So if I'm given a set of numbers, say we're talking about grades that were given on the most recent math test, and I compiled the list of numbers like so. One student got a 55. That student maybe needed to come in a little bit for extra help. One student got a 65. One student got a 72, 82, and the last student got 86. So as you can see, there's a clear range of scores given on the most recent math test. So the first step in MAD is you want to find the average. And if we look at our MAD sandwich, we want to go back and find the average of this given data set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to add 55 plus 65 plus 72 plus 82 plus 86. And that's going to give me a total of 360. But the next step to find my average or my mean is I have to divide this number, 360, by the amount of numbers that are in my data set. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in that given data set. So I'm going to divide that number 360 by 5. In my calculator, I do 360 divided by 5, and my answer is 72. 72 is a really important number that I'm going to work with, and something that will really help moving forward in our next step when we want to find the absolute deviation is I'm going to take this number 72 and I want to subtract it from every single number in the data set. So as an organized mathematician, I'm going to write every single number in the data set again, but I'm going to write it in a vertical way. So 55, 65, 72, 82, and 86. Now, if you look at my MAD sandwich, this big bar looks like a big subtraction sign. And that's exactly what we're going to do when we're figuring out our MAD. So I'm going to subtract every single number in my data set from that initial average number of 72. When I set up my work in an organized way, it helps me solve problems more accurately and efficiently. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract each number. Now, if I type in my calculator 55 minus 72, I will get a negative 17. But since we're talking about the absolute value, we want to make every single number in the data set a positive one. So instead of a negative 17, I'm going to make it positive. If I do 65 minus 72, I will get a negative 7, but I'm using the absolute value, so I'm just writing 7. 72 minus 72, well, that's going to be a clear 0. But it's very important that I count 0 as a value when I'm adding for my mean in the next step of math. 82 minus 72 will give me 10. And 86 minus 72 will give me positive 14. Notice that I have the absolute value of all of these numbers subtracted and that they're all positive values. So the next step in my math sandwich is I'm going to repeat my bun, which was to find the average mean of those numbers. So again, I will find the average. So what I will do is I will add up every single number that I've subtracted in the data set. So that'll be 17 plus 7 plus 0. I need to count that 0 as a value because it still counts in that data set. Plus 10 plus 14. And that gives me a total of 48. I will write the number 48 here, and I'll make sure to divide the number 48 by the number of values in that given data set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll know that you're on the right track when you divide your top bun and your bottom bun by the same number. They should always be divided by the same number because the numbers in the data set won't change. So if I do 48 divided by 5, I will get an answer of 9.6. I followed the steps of my math sandwich by finding the average of the first set of numbers, performing my subtraction with that given data set, and then subtracting again.
Boys tennis. Today you will meet from 3:30 to 4:30 in the weight room. Thank you. Have a great day.
With that information that's given, my final answer is a MAD of 9.6. And this tells me that the mean absolute deviation, the average number of difference from this given data set, was approximately 9.6 from the given mean. I hope this MAD sandwich was a great strategy that helps you solve MAD problems in the future, and please feel free to tune in or see me in class if you have any other questions. Thank you.